What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Southbound Lowdown with Chris Knurk here at Southbound Honda in Lakewood, Washington. This series is about giving you guys the information as new riders to help you make an informed decision. You know, when you guys buy new bikes, there's so much information out there. There's so much technology. We want to help you guys make the right decision when it comes to buying a bike. For example, we got the 2019 Honda Rebel, $42.99, ABS brakes. And then we've got this 2015 Honda Rebel 250, $2,799. So for many of you guys out there as new riders, you're thinking, well, $2,700 versus $5,000 virtually. Why would I spend the extra money on something like that? Right? I'll just buy the $2,700 motorcycle and I'll be happy. And that may be true. You may be very happy with that bike, but there's a lot of advantages when you're buying new versus buying used. Let's take a look at this 2019 Honda Rebel 300 ABS. On sale right now at Southbound Honda in Lakewood, Washington, $4,299. MSRP on this bike, as you can see, is $47.99 plus freight and setup. This bike comes stock with disc brakes front and rear. Disc brakes front and rear is going to give you guys a lot more stopping power and a lot more modulation in your braking. It's going to give you better brake feel. It's going to help you discern whether or not you need more or less brakes in a time of need as you're navigating your way through traffic, through whatever the scenario may be, versus a front disc brake on this 2015 and a drum rear brake for the rear. Now there's nothing wrong with a drum rear brake. It just doesn't have the braking power, it doesn't have the modulation, and it doesn't have the feel of a disc brake. Disc brake is newer technology. Drum brakes have been around forever. It's old technology, and while there's nothing wrong with it, most of the new bikes have disc brakes on them. So the other thing that you'll notice on this 2019 is this funny little ring right here with all of those little grooves in it. What is that? That's your ABS ring. ABS brakes, for those of you who don't know, is an electronically controlled braking system for emergency braking situations or scenarios where you pretty much just panic and you lock up your brakes. And what this does is it modulates the brakes in a very rapid succession, on and off, on and off, on and off. That keeps you from completely locking your brakes up, which on a motorcycle, if you lock up your front brake, we all know, or maybe we don't, that you lose control of the bike. The front end slides away from you and you crash. The ABS brakes will help avoid that. They will also give you better stopping power in a shorter distance in a wet environment or a dry environment based on your needs. So ABS brakes, super awesome to have on a motorcycle. On this 2019, you'll also notice that we've got a radiator right here, which means that this engine is water cooled. A water cooled engine is gonna have better controlled thermo control over a broad range of environments versus an air-cooled motor, which is exactly what this 2015 has. Notice that there's no radiator up front. You have these cooling fins built into the head and the cylinder, and this engine relies solely on airflow passing over the engine to cool it. So if you're in stop and go traffic, maybe you're down in Arizona, whatever the scenario may be, this engine is relying solely on the air in the environment around it and the movement of the motorcycle to cool this engine. So this engine is susceptible to overheating in the right environment. And you know, there's nothing necessarily wrong with this design. It's just a little bit outdated. Where you come over to this engine, we've got antifreeze that is keeping this engine cool. Airflow passes over the radiator. It cools the coolant, which in turn cools the engine, but it also regulates the temperature of the motor when you're in those stop and go environments. You'll also notice in this engine that we've got a single piston, dual overhead cam design, so excellent power. Fuel injection on this bike versus a single cam design, single piston, non-fuel injected carbureted motor. Differences when you're talking about fuel injection versus carbureted engines, you have to worry about temperatures, altitudes, all of that stuff affects how the motorcycle performs. Fuel injected bikes are controlled by an ECU, an electronic control module, engine control module that automatically adapts to the temperatures around you, atmospheric pressure, the altitude that you're riding at. There's a lot that goes into making a fuel injected engine work. However, it gives you much better control over the power that you're putting into this motorcycle by twisting the throttle right up there. So just in the braking, the ABS, and the engine design alone, you can see why something that's a little bit newer maybe makes a little bit more sense. Let's talk about the manufacturer warranty. You buy a used bike, $2,700, right? It comes as is. There's no warranty, there's no anything. You ride it off the lot and something catastrophic happens. Now it's up to you to fix that. You buy a 2019 Honda Rebel, for example, and it comes with, I think, a 2-year unlimited mile manufacturer warranty. You ride it off the lot and the engine blows up. Honda's gonna take care of you on that. They're gonna replace the engine, they're gonna repair the damages, anything that happens to it, Honda will take care of. So that in itself is worth quite a bit. And you can also buy extended service contracts, extended warranties. There's a lot of other good things that come with extended contracts, but that manufacturer warranty alone, when you buy a new bike, it's pretty valuable in terms of failure, catastrophic failure, should anything happen. So just some different things to think about when you're a newer rider looking at buying your first bike. These Rebels, especially the Rebel 300 ABS, it's such a good starting point for new riders. We sell a lot of these bikes to men and women who are new to the motorcycle world, and they want something that is comfortable to ride, it's stylish, but it's not so much power that it's going to scare them to ride. They can get their feet wet, they can get comfortable with being out on the road, around cars, in traffic, and then eventually graduate onto, you know, the bike of their choice, whatever they dream of, whether it's a street glide, whether it's a Goldwing, whether it's a CBR 1000 RR or a CBR 600 RR. So this Rebel 300, you'll notice the 2019 has a much wider tire in comparison to this 2015 over here. And there's nothing wrong with this tire width. It's just gonna grab a lot more of the, the grooves and the ruts and stuff that you see in the road, where that wide front tire on this 2019, it's gonna give you a much more stable platform. It's gonna inspire confidence as you're riding down the road. And it's gonna give you a much more stable platform to not have to worry about what's in front of you, what you're driving over, and you can just focus on the ride because that's what it's all about. So hopefully as we continue down the road of the Southbound Lowdown series, we can bring you some more information on different motorcycles, and we can help inform you guys that are out there maybe looking to take a dive into the two-wheeled world. And hopefully you'll give us an opportunity here at Southbound Honda to earn your business. You guys have a great day. Talk to you later. This has been Chris at Southbound Honda in Lakewood, Washington. We'll see you later. Peace.